Another day in paradise. Hello everyone, it's James Hartigan welcoming you to the Atlantis Resort, hosting the final table of the PokerStars Championship Bahamas main event. Cards up coverage today, every single hand live as we play down from 6 to a champion.
The player in seat 1 has a WPT title where he outlasted the likes of Nick Schulman and Tom Dwan, so this should be NBD for the MVP. If he lasts as long at this table as one of his jokes, he'll do just fine. From the United States of America, Michael Vela. The player in seat 2 is both a live and online beast with over $7 million in combined earnings, and his name sounds like the catchphrase of an overzealous preacher. From the United States of America, Christian Harder. Seat 3 is a former investment banker who only recently decided to join the live circuit, and it looks like he's off to a great start. He and 6 friends started this main event, 4 of them cash, but only 1 is still in. Jealous. From Norway, Rasmus Gleisel. Up next is a player who wasn't even supposed to be here. He's a billiards player who started off in the Bahamas on what was supposed to be a vacation in South America, but he played a live satellite and binked a seat ball in the corner pocket. From Russia, Alexei Opelikin. The player in seat 5 of one of online poker's original gangsters and has gotten more pieces of poker players than the IRS. And of course, there's that little feat of finishing 3rd in last year's World Series of Poker main event. From the United States of America, Cliff Josephy. Finally, the player in seat 6. He had a $500,000 score last year when he finished 2nd in a 5K at the WSOP, and he's managed to escape the Great White North for a week in the middle of January. So he is already winning. From Canada, Michael Gentili. Let's get a big round of applause for all the players here at the final table. Dealer Randy, you know what to do. Good luck, everybody.
Thank you.
So we're about to get the action underway here in the Bahamas, the final table of the first ever PokerStars Championship. I mentioned that we are midway through level 27. We're going to play out the 40 minutes of that level, then take a break, and then kick off level 28. Blinds are currently 30,000, 60,000 with a 10,000 ante. And a reminder of the stacks we have at this 6-handed final table. We've got 2 players around 100 big blinds each, Michael Gentili and Christian Harder. There's another big stack, Alexei Opelikin, he's got 76 big blinds. And then we've got the shorties, although no one is super short. Michael Vela around 30 bigs, Rasmus Gleisel around 25 bigs, Cliff Josephy, the low man at the table, with 20 bigs. So cards are in the air, it's hand number 1 of the final table, and Joe Stapleton is with me in the booth.
Hello, my babies. Let's light this candle.
Rasmus Gleisel under the gun +1. Action's been folded to him. And he raises 135,000. Pocket 9s. That's right, everyone. Today you get hole cards. We are on a 50-minute delay. So the pictures you're seeing actually happened nearly an hour ago, but we're calling the action live, and that's how we're able to read your questions, your comments. Hashtag PokerStarsTV on Twitter.
Looks like we're going to see at least a call from Opelikin.
Ace 5 of diamonds in the hijack. He does indeed call. Michael Gentili folding King 10 on the button. No small blind this hand due to the elimination of Brock Allison last night.
It's great they remembered that. I would have forgotten.
So heads up to the flop, Queen 9-7.
What a great start to the final table. Set of 9s. Get some.
But Opelikin did not get any. No piece of this board whatsoever. And a pretty easy fold to the continuation bet of 150,000.
No action. Getting a lot of love for my collar being straight in the intros today, James. The only reason I bring it up is because, you know who helped me with my collar right before we went on the air? Cliff Josephy. Such a dad. He came over, he was like, hey man, you got to button down this collar. Let me help you.
Very nice guy, Cliff. And of course, many people watched him on his journey towards the final table of the World Series main event. He came into that final table with the chip lead, eventually finishing third. He does actually have 2 World Series of Poker bracelets in side events. And as Joe mentioned at the start, obviously as a major backer of online players in the 2000s, made a lot of money from other people's tournament scores. In fact, talking to Christian Harder at the start of the day, when Christian came here in 2008 and finaled this event, he was backed by Cliff Joseph.
Not a shock at all, Johnny backs her. I mean, he made a lot of money, but he also launched a lot of careers and made a lot of people's dreams come true. People were begging to be a part of Backs and Sheets back in the day.
Gently raises the button with 8-10 off. Christian Harder has jacks in the big blind. So the dynamic at this final table is you've got 3 guys with heaps and 3 guys who are relatively short. And of course, those pay jump considerations are going to be on everyone's minds.
Cliff Joseph being the shortest, very comfortable, I think, playing a 20 big blind stack. There's not really a lot of pressure on you when you have a stack that size. Not a lot of decisions to be made.
To give credit to Cliff, I mean, he had that stack pretty much the whole day, just grinded out those 20 bigs and got into the final 6. Talking to Cliff last night, he said he just didn't have any hands.
He said to me, did you enjoy watching me fold all day yesterday?
So a 3-bet from Christian Harder wins him this pot. He's up over 6 million.
I have not lied once. Why would I make that shit up? I agree. Why would you? There's no purpose other than cause myself anguish.
Hand number 3. Alexei Opelikan under the gun.
I wonder if Rasmus thinks Alexei peels his cards a little wide. I don't know why else he would turn his head away like that. It's like when someone's putting their password on their computer and I'm sitting next to them like, no, I just don't even need this.
Under the gun raise with ace-10 of spades, 135,000. Folded around to the blinds. Christian Harder in the small.
135.
Christian also has a suited ace, ace-4 of hearts.
Wisely lays it down.
Rasmus Gleisel in the big blind.
Harder's the big stack, but you don't really want to play that hand out of position. You don't necessarily want to play a gigantic pot either by 3-betting it, so you can see why he folds. And we've got another suited ace.
Gleisel defends with ace-6 of clubs.
You gotta be careful.
The flop, king 8-6. Opelikan out-flopped.
We don't know a ton about Opelikan's game because we've been watching him play all week, but we really don't know what many of his holdings have been because it was cards down. And I would say that he tends to play on the tighter side, but only because we saw him fold in a lot of spots where people would have called it off with a pretty wide range.
Opelikan continues flop for 160,000, gets a call and picks up the flush draw on the turn. Gleisel still ahead, a 64% favorite to win the pot outright.
Gleisel is the favorite, however, this board texture is like not very good for bottom pair. He may consider folding to another bet if he continues to play in flow.
Do you think Opelikan will barrel now he's picked up equity on the turn?
It stands to reason. Ace high is still going to be the best hand a lot. He's going to have the best draw generally, unless someone's drawing to quads or a full house.
Well, the action has been checked to Alexei.
290.
And he does bet again, 290,000.
This is a big bet for a glacial stack. There's a lot of terrible river cards for him, and he's kind of got to decide now if he's gonna, you know, if he calls here, he might have to call on the river too if he thinks the 6 is good.
Yep. Thank you.
There are so many bad rivers that even if you think your 6 is good now, you're gonna be really unsure. A spade, you won't be so sure. A king is a terrible card for you. That's if your 6 is good to begin with. That's the story of how we got to 970,000 in the middle.
Glacial lets it go on the turn.
We see him fold the worst hand. I don't hate it.
Alexei Opolykin up
Sorry.
to 4.7 million.
Saw him fold the best hand. I don't hate it.
80 big blinds. We spoke to Alexei before the start of play.
To be on a final 6 table, it's really a great result for me. I feel good. I'm making a good decision. If I make mistakes, it's not big mistakes. So I'm glad, it's good. I arrived here, I arrived Bahamas 7 January, next day from the starting this event. The first day I lost, as I said. Next day I won, and next day it was starting this event. So I'm here. I feel absolutely clearly. I feel almost perfect. I will feel perfect if I won. But now it's already a very big result for me, for sure.
Guaranteed at least $103,780, having satellited in.
I see a button raise here from Christian Harder. Charter 30, as he's better known online.
135,000 with the 10-7 off. Rasmus Glacial with ace-9 in the small. Rasmus now playing a 24 big blind stack after that hand against Opolykin. That is a 3-bet. Glacial has re-raised to 325k. Action now on Opolykin in the big blind. He's got ace-queen.
It's an interesting 3-bet out of a 20 big blind stack. And it is domination nation. He's going to be in big trouble if Opolykin decides to rip it in here.
Quick hello to the Canadian Hitman on Twitter. He says, playing on PokerStars while watching the championship. It is minus 15 Celsius outside. Staying inside to enjoy the cards. Go gently. Meanwhile, Pokerface tweets, nice final table. It is a nice final table. Great lineup.
All very likable fellas. They all got their thing. Also, pretty easy on the eyes too, if you ask me.
True dat. That's a 4-bet. Opolykin's made it 700,000. The original razor folds.
This should be a pretty easy fold.
Rasmus still has 19 bigs.
This is part of the reason you might decide to fold a pretty bad ace. I mean, ace-9 is considered when the aces start getting bad.
I guess you're facing a button raise from a player with Christian Harder's rep. You figure you're ahead of his button range.
I don't even really love it against, if you know the big blind's going to fold most of the time. You're going to be playing out of position in a bloated pot with not a lot of big blinds against a hand you can't even really be that crazy about. And Christian Harder's not going to just fold. He's going to play his position a lot of the time.
He's already thinking about this. Now, these two have played a lot against each other. They're sat right next to each other at the final table, and earlier on in the tournament, they were sat in these exact spots on our feature table. And I think a lot of what Alexei did confounded Rasmus. I'm not sure he knows how to play against him. I mean, do you remember that hand where Alan Shine, the small stack shove, like 6 big blinds?
Yes.
Upper Leakin folded, and do you remember Rasmus gave the most amazing reaction?
What?
But you said you're going to see it. How
What?
They're playing it now. They're going to replay it?
No. Someone could tell.
Oh, someone.
He was like, check out this guy over here.
Oh. Oh, I see what you said.
His friend, someone could text his friend.
Right.
I felt bad because I was wrong. I was like, well, he's getting called, and then he tank folded, and I was like, did I just misread? And I was happy to see that everyone else was just as surprised as I was.
I mean, I think I should have went all in on that hand, to be honest. Scared me.
Clay Soul, 19 big blinds, Queen 5 suited. He seems a little antsy in the pantsy. I think he can just fold.
Well, he's going to raise his button with Queen 5.
Am I crazy? Am I crazy, Nit?
No, I do think there might just be, he might be affected slightly by the last 2 hands he's played.
He's so happy he got a fold. He did get a better hand to fold. He's got Johnny Backs to get through now, though.
I don't know why you keep looking over here. This is an empty seat right here.
And luckily, Cliff had Bupkis.
So we have got our last free roll of the Bahamas kicking off in just under 2 hours' time. $2,000 in the prize pool, starting at 3:15 Eastern. That's 9:15 p.m. Central European time. Just search PokerStars TV in the lobby to find it. And remember, as well as that $2,000 prize pool, there are $100 bounties on the English commentators. That's me, Joe, and Matt, who plays as Waster. And the password you need to register for that tournament is
Danger Zone.
all one word, all lowercase. Danger Zone will get you into the game.
Can there also be a $100 bonus for busting Kenny Loggins? Here's a fun fact. Me and Kenny Loggins have the same credit union. We both pay our car loan in the same place. Can you believe that? It's a highway to a low interest rate. That's what it is.
So get registered in the free roll. There are 30,000 seats available, starting in just under 2 hours' time. As we get back to the action with a raise from Christian Harder. This is hand 6 of the final table. Cliff Josephy has pocket 8 in the small blind.
I'm all in.
He shoves.
Cliff.
Michael Gentily in the big blind. Folds Jack 10, back on Christian.
It was a tough one, huh?
He gives up the ace-6.
You know Cliff is not going to be shoving much worse than ace-6.
Well, before the start of play, we spoke to Cliff Josephy and asked him about his chances.
I'm feeling good. I feel no pressure because I'm 6 of 6. The last time around, last big TV final table, I had a lot of pressure on me. I didn't feel it, but you know, there were expectations. I have no expectations right now. I'm supposed to go out 6, so it's fun. Let's go. I'm not going to talk about the other players. I mean, everybody's competent. Everybody's competent. I've just been literally playing my cards and not the other players, as everybody could have seen yesterday from my folding and folding and folding. Hopefully I won't do as much folding today, and hopefully I'll be around for a while. We'll see. Yeah, I would love to win. We'll see what happens. I would be thrilled. I would get permission to come back to the Bahamas next year. So, yeah, all good.
Can you believe he said that about the other players? They're competent?
I dream of being called competent.
I will admit I don't know what that word means.
I heard the words all in.
I think he said I was all in. Nope.
Christian
I am all in.
Harder opened with pocket tens. Rasmus Gleisel is shoved with ace king, and I think we know where this is headed.
It is headed to Flipsville.
Back around to Christian. He calls, putting Rasmus Gleisel at risk, and there is a classic race underway at the final table.
Thanks.
It's a race that Gleisel needs to win to survive. He needs to hit an ace or a king.
Like being alone forever versus being in a terrible marriage, one of these two hands has a slight mathematical advantage.
That's how it works. Whenever somebody says I have one, it's in the window. I'll bet you there's a king in the window. How much?
I'll bet there isn't.
How much? Oh, really? All right.
Put your money where your mouth is, Vela.
That's the board. Cliff, you have one. I give it back. Oh, you did? Give it back. I give him back. I don't need one. I would just throw it out after a year anyway. Show me that window.
An 8-6-3 flop. Great flop for tens.
Hell yeah.
Gleisel down to 25% equity.
I remember him, yeah. He's got the book apparently.
Board pairs on the turn.
Gleisel's gonna need the river.
An ace, 6 outs. 6 cards that save him. It's a 6, and that means we lose our first player from this final table. Rasmus Gleisel from Norway busts in 6th place, cashing for $103,780.
I can't believe a guy named Christian Harder just knocked a dude out by hitting 3 sixes. The mark of the beast.
I think I have to.
I'm a lot jealous. I'm not gonna lie.
So what are we playing now?
Great question.
To the beach. Is it turbo?
Hope he gives us one of those nice juicy kisses we got last night. Come on, it's been a rough week for me. I need this.
Wasn't I just a small? Wasn't you just a big?
No, I really don't.
Christian Harder, now the chip leader, 7.2 million, 120 big blinds.
Collided midair. Talk to me, Goose. That one everybody should get. Yes.
Michael Gentili second on the leaderboard with 98 bigs. Opelican also a big stack. Vela and Josephine in that awkward stack size position between 20 and 30 big blinds.
He wishes he had an awkward stack size. I think 22 big blinds is still just like 20 big blinds, especially when you're last in chips.
20 minutes to play on the level. Then we take the first break of the day. When we come back, blinds will be 40-80. Michael Gentili winning this pot with a button race.
How happy dealer Randy is over there. Randy!
I just typed to you. I just saw the message. That was pretty funny.
Please come over. Please
missed
come
it. I
over.
just
I
got
need a
one.
rail.
Hoover Anderson gets in touch to say, yay, a Norwegian at the final table.
All I had to do was take it.
Oh man, I don't know how to tell you this.
I really should have read that one a little bit earlier.
Boy, this is awkward. Look, your mother and I are getting a divorce. Sorry, different, wrong, awkward conversation.
Cliff Josephine first to speak. Queen 10 suited, playing short-handed. 5-handed now on this final table.
Okay, I will say that when you get some suited Broadway under the gun and you have a 22 big blind stack, it is awkward. You can't really jam it.
You got to raise with it, right?
You can't fold it.
And then you run into a situation like this.
Oof.
Gentili with ace-jack suited. Now, in the cutoff, is he going to call? Or are we going to see another bet get put in?
I think Cliff just raising looks pretty strong, so I'm not really sure you can put it in another bet because I think you have to fold if you get jammed on.
Gently elects to call.
Not getting jammed on.
Christian Harder has ace-6 in the small blind.
I think that's a fold, yep. And finally, Alexi doesn't wake up with a monster, so we're going to go heads up to this flop.
Make sure Jake finds out what his kids have that starts the pass. I'm curious.
Trey, deuce, deuce with 2 spades.
He's like never threw it. Like 4 bets.
Those floppers all gently.
Yeah, pretty good flop for ace-jack, even though no direct connection. You've got a really good ace-high. You got lots of equity, unless somehow you're up against a full house or quads already. Pretty sweet. Joseph, he checks. He's whiffed completely. He is more than likely going to fold to a chip being put into this pot. Well, nice try, Cliff. You saw a flop at least. It's probably his first flop in 4 levels.
I expect Cliff to fold here. Quick PSA. I know that many of you watching on PokerStars.tv are experiencing issues with the audio, where the sound is out of sync with the picture. Apparently everything's running okay on Twitch, but we have got problems on PokerStars TV. We are going to drop the stream for a minute to try and resolve those sound issues, so you might want to switch to another platform, but hopefully we'll have PokerStars TV back up and running in the next couple of minutes.
Sorry? Out of the box? No, oh, sorry, I did that.
Tell you what, you win for being a commentator. Falling asleep before you can even handle your own affairs.
1.6-ish? 1.5, 1.6? I have no idea. I just stacked it.
So Michael Vella has raised from the cutoff, and we've only seen one of his cards here, the 9 of hearts. Christian Harder has 7s on the button.
Little one-eyed poker, I like it.
How you doing?
You're good. Yourself?
Good.
Harder
Thanks for asking.
plats on the button.
Oblique folds the small. Cliff Josephy in the big blind.
Harder flatting because he does have 2 players that act behind him. Maybe doesn't want to flip for the 22 big blinds effective that Vela has behind.
Ace 4 of spades here for Cliff.
Cliff's getting a stellar price on this. And he is going to take those pre-flop pot odds. Getting better than 5 to 1.
Ten, 6, 3. A pretty good chance that Christian's still ahead here.
I don't know. I like Vela for having pocket 9s. That seems like the most likely holding. Now, we do know that he does get a little frisky. He gets out of line sometimes.
What about Jack 9 of hearts?
Yep.
Ace 9, King 9.
All of his most likely holdings aren't doing so terribly in this board.
So he's continued for 210,000. I would expect Harder to call at least one street here. Obviously, Josephy's completely whiffed.
Got to be getting frustrating for him.
Pete Blow is a happy man. Audio is now fixed on the stream. Thanks. Apologies for the issues to start with. I will find the person responsible.
Ace on the turn, so we know Josephy would have turned top pair, but we got 3 hearts out there now.
And I will hurt them.
You gonna hurt the hearts?
No, the audio person.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So obviously not ace 9 suited then.
Nope. Can eliminate that one.
Vela doesn't seem overly comfortable about that ace.
Yeah, he got a little fidgety. And checks.
Unless he's putting on a great acting job. If he has got a hand like 9-10 of hearts and has just gone from top pair to a flush.
I don't put it past him. Guys like Vela, you know, they're not game theory optimal players, but they will employ some other tactics. And I think that when you're playing against folks who are used to playing online and used to playing really experienced GTO players, that they sometimes can get a little confused.
But coming back to what you said at the start, Joe, which is obviously he was raising out of a 20 big blind stack. Is he really going to be doing that with a hand like 10-9 suited or Queen-9 suited?
He's capable, and I think if he bets here, then I like him probably more for hearts than I did before, because I'm not really sure what this bet is if he has pocket nines. I don't know if it's a bluff or a value bet.
So 300,000 into 920,000. Less than 1/3 pot.
Given that we know what Christian's hand is, I think Vela's going to have the best hand here regardless. I don't see what hand he could have here that isn't beating 2 sevens.
Yeah, I mean, betting 300,000 on the river here with a pair of nines is reasonably thin.
I mean, it's just a weird line he's taken in the hand totally, and I think that's why Charter's having a tough time making a decision. I mean, this is a very enticing bet to call, and Charter's probably wondering why, if he was bluffing, why he would even ever bluff this small. I mean, look, if he's got pocket nines and he's making this bet specifically to get called by like a 6 or a pair of 7s or a 5, then brilliant. But I just don't know how you can know that. Charter's played this hand pretty passively, so he may be just trying to get a couple little drops out of a flush.
So Christian lets it go,
Yep.
and I guess we're going to be playing What Did He Have for the rest of the day.
You'll know in an hour. How can I bluff you?
Actually, we won't.
Well, let's hear what Michael Vela had to say before the start of play.
Not even possible. How am I feeling? Excited, a little disappointed I don't have more chips. I didn't play great down the stretch yesterday, but yeah, I'm relaxed. I've done this before, and it's not a big deal as far as that much is concerned. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I always have a game plan coming in. I mean, the players at the table, you know, it's a tough group. There's obviously they're all solid players, and at this point in time, there's no walks, there's no gimmies. So it's a good group of guys, and the best part is it's a good group of guys as well. So that's what makes this game a lot of fun. I've got a ton of people here. Her sister flew down as well, and I've got a bunch of guys that I met playing here that are going to be on the rail today who are rooting as well, which is it's a lot of fun to see. This big guy Harari, who I met from Canada, and his boys. I got a ton of people at home watching. Everybody from Newburgh. I'm getting texts every 5 minutes. That's fun watching that and having them watch. My kids are home watching as well, and my mom for sure is in Florida. I tried to get her down here. It was tough to get my parents down, but yeah, that support part's fun. I enjoy that too, and I like playing for them as well. Thanks for all the support. Love every one of you guys. I'll do the best I can today, and it doesn't matter where we're at right now. We got a big party coming.
And I will be at that party because I am a mooch.
What are you thinking about? Get out of my pot.
Uh-oh, somebody's got aces and somebody is chatty.
Vela raised under the gun. Gently defending his big blind with King 4. Queen 9-9, luckily for Gently, is not connected with this board in any way.
It's so hard to make money with aces. How do you do it? Bet in the fold. You know, last night they drew straws to see They drew straws, and Michael Vella
He lied to me. He wanted me in the
got to
ball.
wear the fedora today.
I don't
Sorry,
wanna take chips
had
from
to
you.
wear the fedora today. Excuse me.
I like that arrangement we have going on.
Yeah.
So if you took part in yesterday's card hunt competition, you're probably keen to know if you won a prize. Let's reveal who took down the first prize of a $530 PokerStars Championship Panama satellite ticket, Nedoff. And congratulations to Richie Robb, Bibisal, and Poker Level. You guys will all receive an $82 feeder ticket.
Yum. I think the feeder ticket should be sponsored by dinner. Dinner, it's what's for dinner? Yum. James, you think we'll make it to dinner today?
I think we will. Playing well in excess of a 50 big blind average. I know we've got Cliff Josephy on 16 big blinds, but everyone else is pretty comfortable right now with two monster stacks with more than 100 bigs each. By the way, $1 Million Card Hunt, we're going to kick off today's competition right before the break. And by the way, we've increased the prizes today as it's final table day.
What, really?
Yeah, we figured enough of this feeder nonsense. Let's give away 3 $530 tickets.
Well, James, how am I supposed to try to win this competition and do commentary at the same time?
You can't. We've got an all in here. Cliff Josephy shoving with ace queen. There was a raise from Christian Harder, a call from Alexei Opelikan. And I think both players probably folding to this shove, sure enough.
Not even trying. Not even trying.
So we've seen 12 hands so far, 1 elimination, and we've seen Christian Harder take the chip lead from Michael Gentili. By the way, I know many of you are interested to know what's going on in the 25K high roller. They are down to 6 players. Bryn Kenny and Stephen Chidwick are out, but Daniel Negreanu is still alive in that tournament. Live updates available on the PokerStarsBlog.com. If you follow the guys on Twitter, @PokerStarsBlog, you can click on the link to follow the hands in that 25K event.
All right, get on it.
Gently raising here with Queen 8. Christian Harder defending with 9-3 of clubs.
6 of whites, Cliff?
Second pair for Harder.
How much you playing?
He checks to the razor.
James, you're such a pessimist. He's also got a flush draw.
More.
Yeah, right in that neighborhood.
I'm all about the here and now, not what's going to happen in 2 streets' time.
You gotta be optimistic.
Yeah, a little more.
Nice. Let's get him, Mike.
I hear you, brother.
Gently continuing for 115,000. Harder calls. Turn card, King of Diamonds. Where's your flush draw now?
Oh, you're so smart, Hardigan.
Gently with a gut shot. Barrels the turn into a pot of 570,000. He bets 325,000.
Second pair went to third pair on the turn. And Harder folds the best hand, although it was not a very good best hand.
Okay, let's give you the details of today's $1 Million Card Hunt competition. And as promised, today we are giving away not 1, not 2, but 3 $530 tickets to a PokerStars Championship Panama satellite.
You punks.
Fire up today's card hunt challenge, play Real Money Hold'em or Real Money Zoom, and complete today's puzzle. And while doing that, win a hand with the Queen of Clubs as one of your hole cards. You're eligible to enter the contest once you've completed the challenge and you've won a hand with the Queen of Clubs. Then tweet the hand ID, your player ID, and hashtag PokerStarsWin. 3 winners today will be drawn at random. You have until midnight Eastern time, so that's 10 hours and 10 minutes. And obviously we won't be able to announce the winners on PokerStars TV tomorrow, there's no stream, but we will on Twitter. So make sure you're following at PokerStars TV, because tomorrow we'll let you know if you've won. And of course, Panama is the next stop of the PokerStars Championship, and we will be there. The event runs from the 10th to the 20th of March in Panama City, and we'll be streaming the last 5 days of the main event.
So excited. It's going to be very hard for me to... I'm going to end up owing Van Halen some money. Just every time someone says it, I just want to jump up in my chair and yell it. Panama, but to the tune of the Van Halen song, which is saying, even just saying the word is almost singing it. So I don't know how I'm going to avoid it.
So when you guys started playing, mom, dad supportive?
So first.
Did you graduate from college or not?
No, I dropped out.
Dropped out to play?
So gently raised with ace-10, and Alexei Opolykin 3 bets with 8-6 off.
Well, these are 2 of the bigger stacks. Gentili starts the hand with over 100 big blinds. Around 80 for Opolykin.
This could well be the last hand of the level, by the way. We are ticking into the break.
That's a great job for you. That age, that kind of minus, that's
Gently calling in position. We see a king, king, 7 flop with 2 diamonds.
I think Opolykin's got to continue.
Yeah, but
I know that's gross. That's not bad.
I think in general, if you're going to 3-bet with 8-6 off, you can't really be hoping to hit a flop. I wonder what his rationale is of checking his cards again there. You'd think when you 3-bet a hand, you would know what it is.
Oh, I thought I had pocket 8.
Maybe. He's probably just resigning himself to the fact that he's got to bet this flop. He's like, oh, what did oh God, why'd I do this?
And obviously, Michael Gentili not to know that he is a 70% favorite here as he faces a continuation bet. That's 400. That's 450. It's 460,000. Quick fold from Gentili. That takes us to the end of level 27. That takes us to the first break. 5 players remaining. When they come back, blinds will be up to 40,000, 80,000 with a 10,000 ante. So during the break, we are going to repeat Poker in the Ears and Eyes, the in-vision version of our podcast. Enjoy that and more live action from the PokerStars Championship Bahamas final table in 18 minutes time here on PokerStars TV.